Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we have my favourite PLE from WWE, Royal Rumble. So I got my Royal Rumble predictions. Let's get straight into it. Starting off with the matches, we got AJ Styles versus Gunther, and if Gunther wins, AJ Styles retires. So AJ Styles has established many months ago that 2026 would be his last year as an active wrestler. But he never revealed when he would wrap up specifically. He could well be on the verge of retirement if his recent rivalry with Gunther was any indication. Gunther handed losses to Goldberg and John Cena in their final matches, and he may now have the chance to send Styles in an early retirement. The ring general already bet Styles once on Raw, and if he can do it again at the Rumble, the Phenomenal One will force to call it a career per the stipulation he agreed to when the match was made official, with Fight Selection reporting late last year that Styles' WWE contract is expected to expire in February. This is generally the most unpredictable match at the Rumble this year. It's entirely impossible Styles signed or will sign soon as an extension that we could see him stick around until WrestleMania 42 or later. But it would be poetic for the WWE to send for his WWE send-off to take place at the same pay-per-view he debuted a decade earlier. Fans are under the belief that Styles could win and Gunther would then redeem himself with a Rumble victory later in the evening. But the Austrian shouldn't be losing a month removed from submitting Cena. Styles seemed content with lacing up the boots for good, and therefore it appears next Saturday will be his swan song. So my prediction, I have Gunther to beat AJ Styles. I think it's going to happen. I know a lot of people were like, what if it ends in a DQ? What if it ends in a double count out? If it ends then I don't think they'll be done with this rivalry. I think it could go to WrestleMania or something. I'm not sure, but I think AJ's done. I think AJ's finished. Yeah, I just say, or like, what if it ends in a DQ, Gunther still goes to the Rumble and AJ tosses him out? You never know what could happen, but I do have Gunther to win. But yeah, it's sad to see. Next match on the card, I should say, we have is Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn for the undisputed WWE Championship. Although Sami Zayn only earned his shot at the undisputed WWE Championship by winning the Fatal 4-Way at Saturday Night Main Event, it has been clear for weeks that he would be the first to face Drew McIntyre for his newly won title at the Royal Rumble. In many matches that have been dating back several years, Zayn has never been able to beat McIntyre in a one-on-one encounter. It's a simple yet strong story to tell on such short notice, especially with the event maculating from Saudi Arabia, where Zayn is a massive fan favourite. It took McIntyre much longer than it should have to take the title from Cody Rhodes, and at this point, it would be premature for him to drop it before WrestleMania 42. That means yet another defeat for Zayn on the hands of McIntyre come the Rumble, but they will still have every near full suspenseful. But Zayn comes close to clinching the championship. Zayn winning a WWE World Title is inevitable, and it will mean that much more. It will mean much more once it finally happens. But it won't be at the Rumble, where McIntyre will keep his undefeated streak against Zayn intact for a little longer. So my prediction: give me Drew McIntyre to beat Sami Zayn once again. I just think he just won the title. I think it's dumb if they took it off him. I think that's a dumb move from WWE, so I don't see that happening. But I do have Drew McIntyre to win. Yeah. Next match on the card, we got the Women's Royal Rumble. So with the Royal Rumbles, I've decided I'm going to put them in. I'm going to talk about 5 categories. So I got the first two. So the first two who I think are going to go in first, entrant 1 and 2. The person that's going to get the most eliminations, the Iron Woman, which is basically the woman that's going to be in the Rumble for the longest period of time out of all of them. The final 4, and then my winner. So for the first two, the first number 1 and 2, I have Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I think this would be perfect because we're seeing spots where one or the other is going to turn on each other. Why did that kind of rhyme? And I think them being 1 and 2 would be hype. I think it'll be really well because we all know and eventually it's going to happen. Either one or the other is going to turn on each other, and I think it's just a perfect way to start it off at the Rumble for sure. For the most eliminations, I had many thoughts. Jordynne Grace. I think Jordynne Grace was a close one, but I'm gonna go with Raquel Rodriguez. I think she will get the most eliminations because the way that she's been set out is a monster of a person. Not to screw with, but will also boost her as well. I think Raquel Rodriguez getting the most eliminations, I think, will definitely boost her character. And I mean, she's a dominant wrestler, and I think her getting most eliminations would be great. The Iron Woman, I think Alexa Bliss. I think she's since she's going to be in the first two, like I said, I think she's going to be in there for a little longer than Charlotte, which is crazy to say. I think Charlotte's probably going to get tossed out. I don't think Charlotte's going to win. What was I about to say? I don't know who will chuck out Charlotte. I'm not sure because I have no idea, but it's exciting. And I think Alexa Bliss, I think to boost her character, definitely the Iron Woman. Now for the final four. Who do I think the final four will be? So my choices I have is Rhea Ripley, the returning Bianca Belair, Io Sky, and Liv Morgan. I think this will be a perfect final four. All four are tough to call who will win the Rumble since all are great choices. I think if Bianca comes back, that will be perfect, and I think she is becoming like one of the fan favorites to win the Royal Rumble for sure. But for who I think is going to win the Royal Rumble, I'm actually going to go with Liv Morgan. I just think Liv Morgan will win the Rumble. I've had this feeling for a long time, and I just see her versing against Stephanie Vaquer at WrestleMania and her winning the championship. I just see it happening, and I'd love that. I'd love that match. Now, for the Men's Rumble, the Men's Rumble, the first two, I know it's probably not going to happen. I have Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. I know probably not believable for sure, but damn, what a way to kick off the Royal Rumble. This would be insane if they pulled it off. I think Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, everyone's been wanting the match of Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. They're building a little bit of tension there and here for the match, and I think them being the first two would be so good to see, even though I don't think it's probably going to happen. I think it'll be good, but I think Cody Rhodes will be early in the Rumble. I think he'll be an early entrant. Now, the person that I think is going to get the most eliminations, I think it's a little obvious for me. I think it's going to be Obafemi. I think the reasoning behind this is they're trying to set him up as dominant Oba is, and having him with the most eliminations will show him that he's a dangerous guy, and I think it'll be great for his character and a great showing for Oba. And I mean, he's never been in a Rumble before, and I think him being in the Rumble would be amazing, even though it's already announced that he is, which should have kept it a surprise, but oh well. And I think them, getting Oba and not the returning, the new, what do you call it? I can't remember the word that I'm trying to think of, but him being the new addition to the main roster, getting them most eliminations, I think will put in a massive amount on his character. The Iron Man, Cody Rhodes. I have Cody Rhodes here. I just think that he will make it far since I see him as a first two entrants, and I think it'll be awesome to see. I think he's definitely going to be one of the fan favorites, of course, to win the Rumble. And yeah, I think Cody Rhodes will be a good choice, a solid choice to be there. And my final four, I have Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Bron Breakker, and Obafemi. I think these four will be perfect just because it slims the expectations on who will win, because these four are high options to win the Royal Rumble. Like, Roman Reigns, I think, is the number one fan favorite. Cody Rhodes, another fan favorite. Bron Breakker just got announced, and I think he's becoming higher on the list to win. And Obafemi, I mean, it's fucking Obafemi. But yeah, I think those are going to be the final four. And the person who I think is going to win the Royal Rumble is... I'm actually not going to choose the number one fan favourite. I'm going to go with Bron Breakker. I know people have been saying Roman to win, but I find it too generic. And I don't really want Roman to face off with Drew at WrestleMania. Or if Drew loses it to Cody, we get the third match of Roman and Cody. I don't really like that. I don't really like that for me. But if you give it to Bron Breakker, I find it a refreshing choice and a choice that would be perfect for this moment. And I think Bron going after CM Punk at WrestleMania will be a great match and a great rematch. And I think Bron will probably win the World Heavyweight Championship for sure. And I think they'll just be a perfect winner for the Royal Rumble. I might be wrong, I know. I've never been bang on choice of my Royal Rumbles, except for I think... No, I didn't even get Cody 2 years ago. I said... How did I go? Last year I wanted... who did I have last year? Yeah, that's right. I had CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble last year. I was wrong with that. And then with the women, I had Io Sky, which, again, wrong with that. But, yeah, I think hopefully I'll be right with this year. Maybe, fingers crossed. With my picks of Liv Morgan and Bron Breakker, I think they are the two perfect choices for the Rumble, for the winners. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching my predictions for the Royal Rumble. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel. It'll be a massive help. Thank you for watching. Take care. Peace.